Well, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. I am pleased to be joined by Bob McElroy, who is President and CEO of the Alpha Project. First and foremost, the San Diegans have continuing to do a very good job of flattening the curve. Thank you. Your support, your cooperation really has put us in this position to be able to continue to reopen both safely and responsibly. This three-day weekend was an important challenge, and San Diegans rose to that challenge and took it seriously. Beaches, of course, remained open with public health guidance in effect. Our restaurants began to reopen to the excitement, obviously, of many, and customers began to re-entering shops and stores. We continue to really try to set that right tone here in San Diego, setting an example how to reopen responsibly. Got a briefing from Chief Nislight over the weekend and this morning. The fact that no citations were issued in the city over the weekend. The fact that when you have clear rules of the road, I believe people will follow them. So thank you, San Diego. And I want to continue to thank you for your continued cooperation, because that will make all the difference in the world for us to continue to move through these various phases. Today, I'm going to highlight a couple of things on our updates. First, an updates on next steps as we continue to safely reopen. Second, really a new opportunity that Bob's going to talk about to shelter families experiencing homelessness during COVID-19. Third, I'm going to highlight a unique and talented San Diego choir that will be making their national TV debut tonight. And lastly, of course, highlighting the work that San Diegans are doing to step up in this great time of need. Reopening. San Diegans continue to want to get back to work, earn that paycheck, and help to provide for their families. Today, once again, the governor heard us in San Diego. We've been given the ability to proceed even further with our reopening plans. For the second time in as many weeks, a request that San Diego made to the state of California has resulted in that statewide shift in policy. It started when we asked for reasonable rules for counties to accelerate into phase 2, restaurants and retail. 7 days later, of course, the state released more realistic requirements to do just that. Then last week, as we talked about, we asked the state to let San Diego pilot a phase 3 reopening because our health data shows that we're ready. And today, the governor took the first step in granting that authority to San Diego and to many other parts of the state. San Diego barbershops and hair salons can now safely reopen, effective immediately. Requirements include, of course, that you complete the county's safe reopening plan. You share it and you post it for employees and customers to see. You conduct temperature checks or health screenings for employees at the beginning and end of the shift. Provide face coverings for staff. Customers must bring their own. And of course, that schedule of frequent cleanings. And if an employee or customer is sick or has symptoms, they should not go into the salon or barbershop, obviously, and stay home. This is incredibly important. We continue to lead on accelerated reopening that puts the safety of employees and customers alike first. That's how we've approached this from day one. It began with the Recovery Advisory Group that we put together for businesses across the county to put forward those guidelines, many of them that we're seeing right now. And really, how do we allow our small businesses to take that next step to safely reopen? We also heard from both the governor and the county today on reopening religious facilities. Some of the requirements include limits of the number of people attending the service, protocols for disinfecting and cleaning, strongly, of course, encouraging face coverings, and the recommendations on physical distancing. This is good news again, because San Diegans of all faiths now have the opportunity to attend religious services at their local religious institutions. Long story short, San Diegans, we need to keep following all of the rules, doing that good job, taking it seriously, like this city and like this region has. That will allow us to continue to move forward these various reopenings. Again, this weekend, great compliance. Thank you. It was very good feedback that we got from our restaurants, very good feedback on City of San Diego beaches. Let's keep up the good work. Topic number 2 today, a new opportunity to shelter families experiencing homelessness. We continue to be at all hands on deck when it comes to helping to protect those that are most vulnerable among us. Nearly 1,300 individuals are currently sheltered at the convention center through Operation Shelter to Home. Others have been placed in motel rooms by the county and the Regional Task Force on the Homelessness. And outreach efforts continue every single day as we offer safe shelter and an alternative to those that are living on the streets. Families and children experiencing homelessness require an additional level of care that we can't provide at the convention center. So we've been looking for other options to provide shelter for families during this very difficult time, and we found a great opportunity. A few years ago, the city launched plans to turn a blighted Super 8 motel into transitional housing. The goal was to help use those units as part of the city attorney's S.M.A.R.T program, an effort to help repeat offenders with acute drug addiction. We recently completed renovation of the motel for the S.M.A.R.T program, and in partnership with the city attorney, Mara Elliott, we are putting those plans on hold for the moment. Because there's nothing that takes precedence right now more than our efforts to help stop the spread of COVID-19. And so this motel offers 42 recently refurbished units that we know we can put to use now as shelter for families that are struggling with homelessness or are on the verge of homelessness. Now we can use this city-owned facility to continue to meet and expand this very critical need. Unfortunately, our city attorney couldn't join us here this afternoon, but I want to thank her. I want to thank City Attorney Mara Elliott for her partnership and putting the intended use of this facility, which is incredibly important, on hold for now so we can help families, which is also incredibly important. This will be a safe, sanitary place for folks while housing navigators get to work and then help to get them into that permanent home. Alpha Project currently has contracts with the city to serve families at another city interim housing complex and proudly serves roughly half the population that is staying at the convention center every day. And they've agreed, as Alpha always does, always steps up when we ask, to continue to serve families at this new location. So I want to thank Bob, I want to thank you, your entire Alpha Project team for really stepping up for this new challenge and what this is going to mean for families, particularly during this very difficult time. And I'd like to have Bob McElroy, CEO of Alpha Project, come up and share a few thoughts. Bob?
Thanks, Kevin. I mean, today, and Mara, thanks, Kevin. You've been there with us for the 56 days that we've been at the convention center, which seems like 56 years sometimes. But it's been a tremendous blessing and a tremendous success. We've seen people come in that I've known on the streets for 20 years that are finally coming in to start the process of recovery. So it's been a miracle. Today is just a blessed day for us. We went down this weekend and looked at the toured the site. And you know, one of the toughest things we have to deal with on a daily basis is the phone calls that we get from families desperately trying to get inside, get out of cars, get out of the canyons, and you know, start the process of recovery. So you know, I want to thank you on behalf of all of them. In the very, very near future, there's actually a family outside the convention center right now, a mom and dad, a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, that in the very near future are going to be inside with all the wraparound resources they need. The kids will have the libraries and the computer labs, on-site schools. We have gardens for the kids, and the parents can start accessing the resources that they need for that ultimate goal of permanent housing. That's the thing. It's not a static population. We'll start out with 42 families, and we are hoping and praying that next year we'll double that as these people transition into permanent housing. But you know, it's not the we don't have something for everybody, but it's certainly going to be a program for other cities to emulate and for them to step up and take care of the families that are in their neighborhoods. And as I said, a tremendous blessing for our folks. I can't wait till tomorrow. Every day now is going to be, I've been refreshed now for the next couple of weeks to see these kids that we've seen out there for so long coming in and being able to be kids. So once again, thank you from all of us at Alpha Project, and thank you for the community. We will get through this together. God bless.
Thank you, Bob. Well said, as always. Thank you for you and your entire team out there. Topic number 3 today, San Diego Choir on America's Got Talent tonight. We've talked a lot about obviously what we're trying to do to help our homeless friends and our neighbors. They're often there on the streets, being judged on their appearance in less than ideal circumstances that they find themselves in. But the book doesn't always match the cover, as they say. And like many of us, those experiencing homelessness have hidden talents that may surprise you. Tonight, all of America is in for a surprise. Tonight, a special group of San Diegans will be performing on the season premiere of America's Got Talent. And they are the members of the Voices of Our City Choir, a group of current and formerly homeless San Diegans and community members who have been gathering since 2016 to offer music therapy to those that are living on our streets. Voices of Our City Choir has been a fixture here in San Diego, performing at the San Diego Symphony and so many community events. Tonight, they will share their talents with the world. So on behalf of all San Diegans, I want to wish them good luck. Encourage you, if you're watching tonight, America's Got Talent. I think it's on at 8 o'clock. I heard this is a performance that you won't want to miss. Topic number 4, finally, our continued efforts to highlight San Diegans stepping up during this time of need. Usually, I like to highlight this time San Diegans who are stepping up to help their fellow neighbors. This week, as we begin to see businesses reopening, I'd like to highlight those industries and individuals who are doing it right and being responsible by keeping both employees and patrons safe so we can continue moving forward with additional reopenings. Because as we've talked about a lot, it's incredibly important that we maintain the gains that we have made as a city and as a region. One business that is doing things the right way is South Bark in South Park. The pet store not only has a clever name, but it has prioritized the safety of its employees and the community. They've installed sneeze guards and moved their operations to curbside pickup and delivery only. Customers can wait outside and receive their purchased items via the store's delivery dog, Russ, who is a statue of an English bulldog on a skateboard. You can see him on the screen now, I think. As certain services are reopening, they've begun their dog grooming services again with a contact-free drop-off and payment system. They're also ensuring customers who enter wear masks and keep their physical distance, and they only allow 3 customers in the store at the same time. This is one of just really many of the stores that we've heard in San Diego business who are following the rules, taking this seriously, keeping our community safe, keeping their employees safe, and keeping their customers safe. So thank you, South Bark. Keep up the great work, and we'll continue to highlight great companies that are doing good things in the coming days as we reopen. And with that, I will pause for any questions from members of the media.
And today's first question comes from Lisa Haverstad with the Voice of San Diego.
Hi, Mayor.
Hello, Lisa.
So I would like to find out, I have heard of families in need of shelter during the pandemic, including some, as Bob referenced, who are actually unsheltered right now. And there's also lots of talk and fear about there being increased family homelessness due to the economic effects of the pandemic. So I'm wondering, 1, how soon will this shelter be available and open? And will this shelter, secondly, be available specifically for families that are not receiving shelter aid elsewhere, such as the families who moved from Golden Hall into the county-funded hotel rooms?
The answer is yes to the second part of that question. And to the first part, we're working on it right away. We'll be able to give you the date when folks can start moving in. Again, all the tenant improvements have been completed. Talking about some furniture issues coming up, but again, having Alpha Project to step up to start making that happen, I think is going to be a real game changer, because the premise of your question, which is absolutely correct, Lisa, is working to provide shelter for families has been something that has been more difficult because of obviously the situation that we have at the convention center. And so the partnership that we've already had, the work that the County of San Diego has been doing, this is going to be a huge value add. And as Bob just said, the need is there, and to get those families and those kids inside is going to be a welcome game changer.
And the next question comes from Gary Worth with the Union Tribune.
Hello, Gary.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. Hey, I was wondering about the status of the S.M.A.R.T program. It's been a long time coming, and now it's going to be delayed for this. Is there maybe an alternative in the meantime for what it might have been, or is there a projected date for when it actually might finally open?
S.M.A.R.T program is up and running. There's other opportunities, obviously. This converted hotel was going to be an additional to those opportunities that already exist in the S.M.A.R.T program, which, by the way, works, and it is phenomenally important. But what we've decided to do, because of, Gary, of the specific need that we have right now at COVID-19 for family shelter, that what a great opportunity to get these families inside and indoors. And so as we open this, we will obviously put this particular building on hold for S.M.A.R.T, but as we make some of that transition, it will be, the goal is to have this returned to the S.M.A.R.T program in the coming months. And with that, I believe that was our last question. Again, thank you to Bob McElroy, everybody at Alpha. Thank you, San Diego. Thank you for continuing to heed all the warnings. Very good effort this weekend. Let's keep it up, and I will look forward to tomorrow's briefing. Thank you.